Oliver's Oily Misadventure, a hilariously slippery tale. Once upon a time, in a quirky little town named Mixington, there lived a young man named Oliver. Oliver was like a fish out of water when it came to being on time. He was notorious for his punctuality being as rare as a unicorn tap dancing in a tutu. The town's clock tower might as well have been Oliver's arch-nemesis, its chimes mocking him like a mischievous cat playing with a mouse. One sunny morning, Oliver had a job interview at the prestigious Mingle Co. He had his heart set on the job, hoping to make a splash like a cannonball in a kiddie pool. He had been preparing for the interview for weeks, rehearsing answers to questions like a Shakespearean actor memorizing lines for a soliloquy. Dressed in a snazzy suit that was sharper than a porcupine's quills, Oliver dashed out of his house like a squirrel escaping a nut convention. He sprinted down the street, his shiny black shoes gleaming like twin stars in the night sky. But fate had a wicked sense of humor, for Oliver's journey was about to take a turn for the slipperier. As Oliver turned a corner, he encountered a puddle that stretched across the pavement like a lazy snake sunbathing. Now, Oliver wasn't just unlucky, he was a magnet for misfortune. With a misstep that would make a clown proud, Oliver landed in the puddle with a splash that could rival a cannon firing at sea. His suit was soaked, and he looked like a drenched chicken caught in a rainstorm. Gathering his wits like a squirrel hoarding acorn, Oliver continued his soggy trek. But the universe had decided that Oliver's day was going to be more slippery than a banana peel in a skating rink. As he neared the company's building, he encountered a freshly waxed floor that shimmered like a mirror at a vampire convention. Oliver's shoes skidded on the surface as if they were performing a cha-cha with a mind of their own. He slid into the reception area like a penguin on an ice slide, crashing into a potted plant that tumbled over like a domino in a hurry. The receptionist stared at him with a mix of bewilderment and amusement, her eyebrow arched higher than a kangaroo trying to reach the top shelf. "You must be Oliver," she said, her lips twitching with suppressed laughter. Oliver managed to regain his composure, straightening up as best as he could. "Yes, that's me," he replied, his voice an octave higher than a cat's serenade to the moon. The interview was a roller coaster of emotions, with Oliver's answers veering off like a car with a mind of its own. He compared his teamwork skills to a bowl of spaghetti tangled in a windstorm and claimed that his attention to detail was as sharp as a rubber knife. The interviewers exchanged glances that spoke volumes, like two silent film actors conveying an entire plot with a single eyebrow raise. After what felt like an eternity of verbal acrobatics, the interview finally came to an end. Oliver left the room feeling like a deflated balloon, his hopes sinking faster than a lead weight in a helium factory. He trudged out of the building, his footsteps heavy like a hippo tap dancing in concrete shoes. As Oliver walked back through the town, he couldn't help but reflect on his day. He realized that he was like oil and water, destined to not mix well with certain situations. He chuckled to himself, thinking that his life was like a sitcom where the punchline was always just out of reach. When he arrived home, his neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, saw his disheveled state and burst into laughter. "Oliver, you look like you've been through a tornado in a teacup." Oliver joined in the laughter, realizing that sometimes life's greatest lessons are learned through its most absurd moments. He might not have aced the interview, but he had certainly aced the art of turning a disastrous day into a hilarious tale. And so, dear readers, we learn that life is a mixture of oil and water, a concoction of the smooth and the slippery, the serious and the absurd. Just like Oliver, we all encounter moments where we feel like we're skidding on a waxed floor, struggling to find our balance. But it's in those moments that we can choose to embrace the hilarity of our misadventures and find the humor in life's unexpected twists. So, the next time you find yourself slipping on the banana peel of existence, remember Oliver's tale. Laugh in the face of mishaps, dance in the rain of unpredictability, and keep your sense of humor well oiled. After all, Life's puddles are meant to be splashed in, not avoided.